Well, I've been looking forward to this video for a while because today I'm going to be showing you around one of my my favorite nature park in all of Newberg. What I'm showing you today is Bob and Crystal Rilee Park. Now, this is actually a relatively new addition to CPRD, which is the Chehalem Park and Recreation District. They bought it in 2014, which was mostly a donation, partially a purchase. They bought it for a few $100,000 when really it was valued somewhere around $6 million. So what I'm going to be doing is showing you some of my favorite parts. There's about 330 acres. I'm not going to show you the entire thing. There's no internet service up here, at least very poor service. So it's somewhere around 14 miles of trails. But I'm going to be going on the trail. I'm going to show you some of my favorite parts, and I will be talking to you throughout it. One of the things I really love about this park is that it's really quiet. Partially that's because I'm so used to it. All the other trails around Newberg, I can always hear the bypass or highway noise. There's just always other noise. Whereas here, it's just really quiet and peaceful. One of the other things is you hardly ever see people on the trail, which is ironic because I see people right behind me right now coming up this way. But it's a relatively unknown park. There's a lot of really cool things about it. A lot of people aren't aware that it exists. And because there's so many different paths and trails, you're usually not going to run into someone. So I first found this trail when I came up here with my family several months ago. And our kids loved playing in the creek. As you can see right behind me, there is a creek here. So you could come to the park a dozen times and always experience something new. Even though I'm going on the same path that I went when I first came because I thought it was so cool. So I'll go ahead and show you around and show you a lot of the different places where you can go. All right, as far as I know, I'm right here on the map where I am circling. And like I said, here's another area where like the trail splits, and so you can go and explore a different way. I'm going to go ahead and keep going this way and show you because it's probably a mile or two path going this way. As you come maybe like an eighth or a quarter of a mile off the path, there's a cool little water feature. There's like a tiny grove of trees over here, and then there's a waterfall. Now this is about a 10 to 15 minute drive outside of Newberg up on Parrot Mountain. If you look on the map, I am right around in this section. There's an interesting like old shack behind me, so I'm not quite sure what it is. Just kind of an old beaten down shack. There's a beautiful creek running by here. I'm actually really curious what the name of this creek is. But it's really peaceful. Like I said, there's just a lot of really cool spots to come. And there's trails that have gone up all different ways. I came down this side. There's another trail that goes up there. It zigzags. And again, this is only one tiny section of the park. So if you come here, there's going to be a lot of different places for you to explore. One thing to note as well is because this is really in many ways designed to be a horse trail, in the summer, there's going to be a lot of horses. Now in the winter, in the rainy months, they actually close it down to horses because as you can see right here where I am, I did not wear the right shoes for this. But there's a lot of mud, so you just got to be careful, watch your steps. Whoa, wow, I almost face planted. Oh, my camera flipped backwards too. Yeah, it's a little muddy, maybe don't do that. When you come to the park, I would also definitely recommend bringing a screenshot of the map with you because it can be kind of confusing. It's easy to get lost if you don't know where you are on the map because there are so many switches back and forth. Most of the trails will lead back to the same spot, but it can be disorienting if you don't know where you are. If you try to download it and don't have any cell service, that can be frustrating as well. This is a zigzag, I just call it the zigzag part. You can either decide to go kind of back the way you came, or you can come back around the farmhouse and get back to the parking lot that way. All right, I'm gonna keep going up the zigzag part. Again, that part goes back down where I was earlier. I'm gonna see if I can check out some of the parts more in like the southeastern part of the park. This place is huge. I feel like I've been on a pretty long walk and I've only covered just like a tiny little section of this. So if you're looking for an all-day trip, you can get honestly as much of a hike in here as pretty much anywhere else you could go. All right, well, I've come to this pretty much like four-way intersection right here on the map. You can see where all these trails come together. I may hate myself for this, but I'm gonna go check out, the trail kind of extends down that way. I haven't been down there before. I don't know how this is gonna be. My hands are also really cold, so we'll see how long I last, but let's go check it out. All right, I made it to this little intersection right here where there's a small little trail that goes over that way. And then this part is kind of the beginning of a long trail that doesn't really have many spin-offs. So I want to try going down that way. There's a really cool views through here. You can't really see super well through the trees. I want to see if I can actually go that way a little bit, see what we can see out there. Well, it turns out there's a fence here. Looks like there's another property. All right, I made it to this little corner here where it does a switchback. Looks like it starts going downhill. I don't really want to do that, honestly, because then I have to come back up. But the cool thing is there's a really beautiful view of Mount Hood in the background. Also, I see cougar trails, and it kind of freaks me out a little bit being out here. And I don't know if I told anyone where I am right now. So I think I'm going to head back, and I'll kind of backtrack along the way. Once I get back to where it was earlier, then I'll kind of show you around some more. All right, well, this may be me just being a little bit paranoid, but seeing all these cougar tracks, I decided to grab a stick, which won't do a whole lot, but at least I'll feel a little better beating off a cougar with something in my hands rather than my bare hands. Well, thankfully no cougar attacks. I'm about back where I was at that intersection, so that's nice. Not getting mauled by a cougar. Interestingly, I just noticed I've been on the trail for like 45 minutes, and I only covered a tiny little section. I was going to go to another part of the park. So this is called like the farmhouse area. There's a place called Bob's Corner. And then there's another spot even farther down where it loops like all the way around the perimeter of the park. This one is like on the side of a mountain, as you can tell. Tons of trees. So if you really want to have like that wilderness feel, this really is a good one. Honestly, I grew up in Columbia Gorge and went on all kinds of hikes, which were all great. But this one really like can go toe to toe with any of those. Probably like some of the best hikes in the gorge even. So if you want a good hike but don't want to go all the way, spend an hour and a half driving, this is really a good spot to come first. All right, well, I made it back up to this area where there's kind of two forks that come into one spot, and then it breaks off in two forks again. So that way we'll take you back down into cougar territory, same as that trail over there. But then this trail is what I'm going to take back to the parking lot because I'm ready to go on it. Well, I've essentially made the whole loop. I'm coming back up on the parking lot, so you can see there is the farmhouse. And this is a pretty big, like I said, it's a huge park. Definitely come check it out. There's a lot of really cool features to it. I only went through one tiny part, even though it was at least a couple miles that I walked in / jogged. Well, like I mentioned, there's the parking lot. That's one place where you can park, where you can see on the map there. Also, there's spots you probably can't see with the sun shining right in your face, but way down that road and also way down that way. Like I said, it's 330 acres, like 327, I think. So there's definitely a lot to explore. This is only one section, but definitely worth checking out. Well, thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos about what it's like living in Newberg, I explore a lot of different areas around town. So you can check one of the other videos out that are popping up on your screen. Event videos, real estate videos, all those kind of different things. And hope to catch you in one of the next videos. Thanks for watching.